Greetings. One of the distinguishing characteristics of God's people in both the Old and New Testament has been how well they care for the orphan and the widow. It has always been God's pleasure to see His people set themselves apart from other nations by the way they cared for orphans and widows. At the James Fund, we have a passion to help individuals and churches take action on their behalf. Deuteronomy 24:19-22 is one command of many in Scripture where God describes a process for His people to care for orphans and widows among us. What is clear in this particular passage is that orphan and widow care is a priority to God. He calls His people to take action regarding them, and there is a process by which we can care for them. The next sections of this DVD will help you initiate orphan and widow care ministries of your own in your local church. Working with our partners at Hope for Orphans and the Widow Connections, we are able to bring you the processes and tools you will need to start vital ministries of your own. Each section will give you a high-level overview of how you can take up the cause of the orphan and the widow in your local church and take action to pursue serving them. These sections are intended as overviews and are not fully detailed plans. There are, however, more details that are available to you as you plan for your future in orphan or widow care. Hope for Orphans has a full set of online tools to equip you to start well, including this fantastic detailed resource guide entitled Launching an Orphans Ministry in Your Church. Their website, hopefororphans.com, is a rich site for the tools you will need to prepare, launch, and execute a strong ministry to orphans. Be sure to go there for the details. Widow Connection also has a full and detailed process online to help you launch a widow care ministry in your local church. Miriam Neff, author of this powerful book, From One Widow to Another, provides on the website the practical tools and helps needed to successfully launch a widow's ministry. Go to widowconnection.com for the full details that will equip you to take action on behalf of the widow. Enjoy these helpful overviews as you begin to take up the cause of the orphan and widow. May God show you His great favor as you move to take up His promises and serve those in distress around us.
Can you imagine an event in your life that you don't want? A crisis that catapults you into something exciting and fulfilling. You have a new purpose and a new passion in life. I'm Miriam Neff, and that's exactly what has happened to me. 3 years ago, I became a widow. At 19, I married an incredible man, my Indiana University sweetheart, and we packed a lot of living into the 41 years we had together. He became the vice president of Moody Broadcasting. I became a counselor in public high schools, 4 children, adopted and born to us, cross-country van trips, boating, church choirs. Life was full. I wrote a few books and taught Bible studies and was grateful to be mom and wife. We traveled the world as he came alongside fledgling broadcasters to help them with equipment and training. I loved seeing him pursue his passion, Christian broadcasting on every continent. Our future for this stage of life was planned. He'd continue his passion, we'd enjoy our grandchildren, and keep traveling the world. And then came amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Bob was diagnosed with this deadly disease at age 61. No treatment, no cure. And I began a journey I would wish for no one, but it was ours. Our children and their mates rallied around us, and we loved him as best we could to the moment he graduated to heaven. God chose to heal Bob in heaven rather than here on earth. I looked for help and encouragement in the next months, and I could not find that practical, here's how, understanding and compassionate resource. As I muddled through that dark fog, I began to sense that I needed to create that resource. As I was teaching Bible to widows in Africa, a sense of mission grew in my heart and mind. God was definitely up to something. Looking back, it seems unreal that Widow Connection was incorporated exactly 1 year after Bob's death. The resource I was searching for is now a reality. Now you're here because you care about us. You may be wondering, how can I extend a helping hand to widows? Can my church reach out? Where do we begin? First, I applaud you for your heart for us. Did you know that God blesses those who care for orphans and widows? You're in for a journey and a blessing. Start with getting information. Yes, my book and website will help. You might not have known that our friendship network shrinks by 75%, or that our family finances tank. Information you learn will help your outreach be effective, what widows need. If you're a church or group wanting to start a widow care ministry, start by surveying the widows you know. I have a survey you can use. You'll learn their greatest needs, their greatest fears, and what practical resource is lacking in their life. When I started our first group, 2 needs were at the top of the list: household repair resources and finances. Now your area may be different. Some need connection, regular social events or Bible studies, small groups or serving opportunities might draw them to feel connected, feel loved, push back the loneliness a bit. My husband and I ushered in our church together. I couldn't go back to that, too painful. But I'm profoundly blessed by our new widows group. We study together, pray together. We share bonds of understanding that are precious. Yes, we laugh a lot. Tears and joy are a real good combination. My suggestion, if you want to start with widows meeting together, that you identify a widow with leadership inclinations. With a pot of coffee, my book and study guide, anyone can start. While that addresses loneliness and sometimes feeling disconnected from the church, the group is not enough. We prepared a list of resources, names, phone numbers. These are reliable painters, car repair persons, attorneys, financial planners, and so forth. That list also has a contact name and number for benevolence resources in our church. Calling our benevolence coordinator connects a widow in times of financial stress to access our food pantry, free car repair, oil changes, and other economic support and training. You may be saying, we have those resources. Doesn't that widow already know that? Won't she call and ask? Probably not. Her mind may be numb, her hand too tired to pick up the phone, unable to sort through the phone prompts. That list that you have put in her hand tells her that you care. For starters, these are ideas. Contact me for more. I'm here to help you. Let me tell you what might happen. You'll get to know God better. 103 Bible verses about us will show you just how amazing, loving, and justice-seeking our God is. Some widow somewhere will become more of the woman God intended her to be. She's more likely to become that fervent person of powerful prayer, that generous, open-handed woman, even though her gifts may look small compared to others. How do I know? I'm watching it. Our widows group has started and funded a treadle sewing machine project in Africa. We're reaching out to new widows, young moms, and we've just started. And one more thing. You're helping orphans too. With our average age of 52, many are young with children, fatherless. They'll benefit when you help their mom. So my final word, let's do this together, and thank you.